So I have a wacky question. So we've all come into this space from someplace else, some more recently than others. Client side, advertising, strategy, creative, other parts of the client side. Have you ever felt like, because of that you were lacking something in the PR space? Like, has there been a gap you've had to fill as a result? Like, I know I had to really quickly get up to speed on media relations. Like, that was just something I just never had thought about. Somebody else always did it. I saw the results. I enjoyed the results, I suppose. But I never really had to think about the mechanics or the skill sets to hire someone in order to do that. I had to get really quickly up to speed there.
Or the hook to make sure it's covered. I guess we never would think about, we always want, everything we do, we wanted to get attention, but we wouldn't think immediately about who's going to cover that idea. I was like, well, who cares who covers that idea? It's a great idea. Well, that's not the world we live in, right? I mean, it's come up with a great idea that also has a hook that people will carry and get out there and get impressions. So that battle between great idea and we also have a job to do is something that I definitely am in the middle of getting up to speed on.
I mean, from my perspective, PR has always been, for the last 17 years at Colgate, I've touched PR throughout my career, but this is the first time that I'm actually accountable to it directly. And I have to ask a lot of questions. So very often I feel like the stupidest person in the room, especially when I've got the PR folks in the room saying like, oh, some of these questions are probably very obvious to the experts, but for me it's like I have this huge gap that I need to fill just to understand sort of the basics. We're also always demanding more sort of creativity out of the PR discipline. Our biggest we have many criticisms, but the key criticisms are that we're not getting enough creative thinking. We always want more. But sometimes there's the basics that you have to do, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs before you can even get to creative, levels. And so for me, it's been a learning curve.